monster shit. We smoking blunts, don't pass no clear. My house in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. Girl, don't trip, take a hit, take a flight to Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali.
Fumo mari todo el día, creepy kush, creepy kush, todo el día. Prende Philly, llévame a la orilla. Playa, mujeres fumando. Mira, tírame blunt y esos nalgas de mentira. Tan brinda, que chimba, colombiana linda. Siempre con los ojos rojos de Cali, con mi amiguita Mari.
My house in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. My house in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. Need it. Need it. Need it. Cali, 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 Kush.
All right. Back to Andrea and Andrea's Love Crossing Borders. We got a great topic tonight.
Yeah, and Andrea Wallace TV, don't forget about that.
Yes, Andrea Wallace TV. Shout
Okay,
out.
everything is right. Okay, here we're gonna have to,
Let me pull this up over here.
yeah.
Give the shout outs.
No, over there, wait, there's nothing
Mhm.
scrolling over there. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, you guys. Things. There we go.
Turn this off.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfecto.
That's the wonderful world of struggle streaming. Shout out to all you guys watching from Andrea Wallace TV as well
Yeah.
as Love Crossing Borders.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We got a great topic for tonight, guys. This goes for domestic as well as international travel. So any questions that you guys might have when it comes to paternity tests, in other words, DNA tests for your kids in the United States, as well as outside the United States, we're going to be hitting that topic tonight. So be ready for, you got any questions, let us know. We got a little short video montage to go along with it. But at the end of the day, we want you guys to be clear on what you can expect when it comes to 5 important reasons why you want to have a DNA test. We did this video about 3 years ago, and we figured that we were talking about it today, and we figured that it was such an important topic that we bring it back up. So we're going to be talking about 5 very, very important things that most guys don't know about why you want the DNA test. Some of you guys just think of the DNA test as if, because I want to know if it's my child. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other very important reasons why you should have a DNA test with the child or children that you have domestically, as well as is just as important to know these facts internationally. If you have a child that was born in another country, what do you do for that child to be able to get their American citizenship, passports, UK citizenship, Canadian citizenship? What do you do? We're going to be talking about that tonight.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to start with the shout outs as always. With Kenny, thank you so much. Everybody start coming to the live stream. Thank you a lot.
Shout out to Kenny.
Alexis, thank you so much for being here. Tevin is here too.
Shout out to Tevin.
Here, Tevin say, I'm strongly, believe that DNA testing should be done at birth.
Mm-hmm.
We agree too.
We
so that way it clears up any misconceptions on the child belongings to the father or the side dude.
Correct.
Absolutely. Don, thank you so much for being here. Good evening, Andrea and Andrea. Movie night was great. Once again, you are missing out if you're not following Love Crossing Borders on Rumble.
Rumble, young man, Rumble.
For Profits, thank you so much for being here. Ransom, thank you a lot for being here too.
Oh, yeah.
Ferguson, we another bagging tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Black Nubian, thank you so much. Thank you for your cash app.
He said, "Oh,
Shout out to them Canadian boys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So roast a lot in the building.
Yes, sir. Jay's too here.
Shout out to Ronin Travelers as well.
Yeah.
For Profit Store.
DJ Dim.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
how I feel today on this Sunday. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, we just had a nice date night, so it was good. Really
yeah. Good. Okay. So we officially
all right.
We got with the topic for tonight.
All right, guys. We won't be keeping you guys too long, but this is a very important topic. This particular episode is going to be going into the Patreon. So if you guys haven't joined the Patreon, we got a lot of great information in there for you guys to be a part of. So make sure that you join and support the channel by way of the Patreon as well. Shout out to my brother, my friend, Sean D. Upshaw, them Detroit boys who are always at it again.
You gotta my face, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Shout out to them Detroit boys by way of Texas. Shout out to you guys. And so Andre and I were talking about this topic. Shout out to Derek being in the building as well. Andre and I were talking about this topic earlier today. And like I said before, we did this particular topic, 5 very important reasons why you want to have a DNA test for your child domestically as well as internationally. I know you guys are like, because I want to know it's my child, but that's just scratching the surface of some of the reasons why you must have a DNA test. So let's get to this. Let's let Andre read the super chats, and we're going to get to that because you guys, after we get done, you guys will sit back and say, now I get it. This particular episode is going into the Patreon, and all the notes that we have that you guys are going to hear about tonight is going into the Patreon. And if you guys have any questions about paternity internationally, ask us, because we've done a lot of research on this for us as a couple.
Yes, sir. Tori, thank you so much for your donation. He say love is never having to ask. Is that my baby? Love to LCB and fan.
Yep. Shout out to you, brother.
There we go.
Tori in the building.
Okay, there we go.
All right. So in a second, I'm going to do a montage of videos to let you guys see how important it is in the United States to get it done. And then we're going to talk about how important it is internationally. For example, shout out to my boy Charles, who was asking me a question on WhatsApp. He asked me, can a person who has a child in Colombia or even in Brazil be able to get a visa because they have a child in one of these countries in South America? And our answer was
yes. For example, if you have a baby here in Colombia and you don't have any type of visa, and you asking if you can have a visa here or residency here, yes, you can apply. Obviously, with the child birth certificate, the certificate that is your child, Colombia baby, absolutely, you can apply for a migrant visa and accumulate a migrant visa until you apply for the resident permanent visa.
And yes, what Andrea means by accumulate is the same thing that I did and some of you other guys are doing right now. You get your first visa and it may be for a year or two. Then you get your second visa and it may be for a year or two. Mm-hmm. It's up to them. Mm-hmm. And then by the time you hit the year like 5 or 6, then you'll be eligible for your third visa. And that one is called a residency. You guys that have your first or second visa in Colombia and maybe even in Brazil, you are eligible for a migrant visa. So on your ID, it'll have an M on there or it'll say migrant. On mine, because I'm past the first 2 visas, and some of you guys are too, you have R or residency. That means that you don't have to fill out any more visas. You are a permanent resident. You have all the rights of a resident except for the voting rights, as well as the right to have a passport in these countries. But you can apply for example, such as myself, next step, and some of you guys, next step is citizenship. So you have your dual citizenship in 2 countries, because America as well as Brazil does allow dual citizenship, if I'm not mistaken about Brazil, but it allows you to have dual citizenship between America as well as another country. So that's what Andrea means by accumulating. That means that you have to have at least 1 to 2, in some cases even 3 visas that have been approved. then you can get your last one, which is the residency visa. And you don't have to fill out anymore.
Yeah, like the other countries. Spain is the same way. The United States is in the same way. You accumulate your temporary residency, and then you apply for the bigger one, the last one, the permanent. Mhm.
All right. Look like I got a water on me, but it's all right. It's
Okay,
water.
so baby.
I know, right? All right. And shout out to my man For Profit with the
Mhm.
199. Appreciate you showing love, brother. Appreciate you. So, like we said, if you have any questions tonight in regards to this is very important topic. And we're going to watch a short 10-minute montage of videos on how important it is. I know these women in the States try to convince you guys not to have a DNA test, or you don't love me or you don't trust me if you don't have a DNA test. Let me ask you this, babe. Do you think that if I asked you for a DNA test that I don't trust you?
No, I don't see it that way. Not speaking about Andrea. To me, is even for me, is better. You know why? Because starting number one, Andrea is from the States, and I know to prove to the embassy, to prove to when it comes to legal paperwork, to prove to another visas, that we can apply in the future in other countries, they need to a certification that Andre is the father, and I don't have any problem with that. I mean, we call like this in Espanol when Colombia. If you refuse or something, you hiding something. You know what I mean? In my words, and I 100% agree that at least in Colombia, there should be legal that all the fathers for free, because DNA test here is expensive. For free, apply, or after the baby born, apply for a DNA test. I think it's fair. I think it's the most right thing to do, and I'm a 100% agree with that. And I mean, like I said before, to me, I don't see any problem, because even way better for me when it comes to do paperwork for my kid and everything, and prove that Andre is the father, so he can have all the legal stuff, legal way. But I don't see any problem with that. I don't see why women feel offended. If you feel offended, if you're sure that's the father of your baby, why you get mad? Like, why you, if this is the law, for example, in Colombia, let's say that tomorrow, yeah, it's gonna be legal that every baby start in August 5th, August 5th. Every baby, they need to have a DNA test.
For example,
I just say an example. I know there's a lot of women that they're not agree with, and there's a lot of women that they are agree with. So, yeah, I say yes.
And I like what Andrea said to me earlier, a saying that they have here in Colombia when it comes to the kids. The truth is in the blood. The truth is in the blood. When it comes to knowing if that's the daddy or not, Andrea said here in Colombia, and we were paraphrasing, but in English, it translates, the truth is in the blood. It don't matter what she says, no matter what the dad says, doesn't matter how many people say that the baby looks just like you. The truth is in the blood.
Absolutely. And another thing, you guys, before I start the live stream, evil comes. Let's say that you play dirty with your husband, and you're in like in the States, and you play dirty. For example, in Colombia, we always say devil is dirty. Devil comes. Something's going on with the kid. The kid need a blood transfusion. The kid got, for example, those cancer that they need to have a transplant,
like
transplant or something. And for some reason in life, I know that I go into the stream, but that's how families in Colombia, families think. Something's going on, an accident, doesn't matter, something's going on, and they need blood transfer.
That's going to be in the video we watch.
Absolutely. So that's why we say, the devil played dirty.
Yeah.
Because some way or another, the father find out if that is her real kid.
Yep. Even without a DNA test, something happens, and then a kidney is needed or blood transfusion. One guy found out 51 years later that both of his sons weren't his because his brother needed a kidney. And when they went to find out if the boys, the two boys, were a match for their so-called dad's brother, in other words, their uncle, come to find out the boys didn't know that for 51 years, the boys didn't know that this wasn't their dad. Their dad didn't know the truth. The uncle and the rest of the family didn't know the truth. And the person that lied for 51 years was the mother. 51 years this woman lied. And like you said, it may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but the devil always plays dirty.
Always we say that. Always we think, or grandma say that, and they always tell you that, like for real.
Shout out to my man official. Zay. Shout out to Zay. Zay in the building. Good to see you, Zay. He said, we got to catch up, man. You're already back. He said, this is the brother that was in Peru.
Yeah, I know.
And he say, salute brother Dre and Andrea. He say, salute to the panel. He say, Dre, he say, we'll have to get up with you about the other books. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. And Jay Anderson, the great, is in the building. Shout out to you, man. This is going to be a great live stream. Like we said, we appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, feel free. The first part of this video that we're going to be watching right now, like I said, it's just a 10-minute montage. Then we're going to go into the 5 important reasons why you should get a DNA test. I don't care how you feel about your kid. I'm going to say this again, because we're going to be talking about this tonight. Guys, there is financial prostitution and emotional prostitution. And women play on both of them. We're so accustomed to talking about financial being scammed, being used by women financially. You're going to see tonight how a lot of us men are scammed emotionally, to where by the time we find out, we're so emotionally connected to this child and financially connected to this child. A lot of you guys don't want to let go, and you are willing to raise a child.
No, that you raise your voice.
Thank you very much. You are willing to raise a child that is not yours simply because you are emotionally prostituted. Emotionally. So we're going to look at this right out the gate. And the first thing that they're going to be talking about is how men find out that it's not even their child.
DNA testing center. I had 2 guys call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child.
40% of the children in the United States are not the man's child. 40%.
40%. He said 40%.
Somebody call Maury.
It's usually
make DNA testing.
It's
mandatory.
It's 2 scenarios. It's where the woman, the person's getting a DNA test because the woman claims that is their child. Turns out it's not. The other.
Now that's the most common one. Most guys want to know, is this my child or not? But here's the other one based off of what Andre was talking about. The devil plays dirty, and then the truth comes out. The other way men find out that it's not their child.
The other one is where the parent is on a deathbed and makes a confession, they need they need a liver transplant, blood transfusion, and the blood type, there's no way that can actually be the father. So then they find out that because of medical reasons, you mean that's not my father? Then the father finds out from that way. He said it took such a toll on him that he could no longer do it, because he would be sitting on the phone counseling the men and the grown children who these women falsely accused. We see it on Moore, we see it on paternity court, but yet we say men need to be held accountable. Why are these women needing all these why does Maury exist with you are not the father? Why does paternity court exist
if DNA testing was mandatory?
Accountable?
You know what happened if DNA testing was not only mandatory, but if false parental rights were given and it was illegal once you found out? Do you guys think, put a one in the comment section if you think that women would start to be more responsible if false paternity accusations were illegal, do you think women would? I put a 1 in. I think if it was illegal to do what they do today and put a baby on another man, and they had to go to jail like we go to jail for child support, I bet you these women would not be putting these babies on these men. I bet you they go ahead. In many cases, this is the irony of it. You're going to see tonight. In many cases, because you look like you want to say something too, Andrea. In many cases, okay. In many cases, the mother knows and still is in communication with the biological father while you're taking care of the kid, while you're going through emotional prostitution, meaning being connected to a child that's not yours to make it hard for you to leave or feel guilty if you leave. I'll say that again. Emotional prostitution is this. These women not only use you financially, but they get you so connected to their child or children. By the time you find out that it's not your kid, you're already emotionally connected to where you feel bad for staying or guilty for leaving. Bad for staying with this kid that's another man's, or guilty for leaving this kid that's another man's. That's called emotional prostitution. Not the financial, the emotional. So that's another way you're being used. So just like thank you very much, gentlemen. If it was illegal, all of us know if it was on the same level of child support, these women would not sit back and say, you the daddy, if they knew that they would go to jail once the truth came out. Yep, protect your meat, your money, your energy, your attention, and your time. Protect your meat.
I think guys needs to, even though for example, I'm talking about Colombia, and in Colombia it's not mandatory yet, but they study the how do you say, the decision, the opinion,
They listen to what the people have to say.
Absolutely. And I think even in Spain, a lot of Spanish women say they should do that.
Yeah.
They should have a DNA test. And I think you guys, if you are planning or if you're going to have kids here in Colombia or any part of the world that is not in the States, let's talk about that. You should pay for a DNA test, you guys. I know you got to separate the emotion, the happiness, the love for your chick or for your girlfriend or your wife, and be responsible and take a DNA test. And that is your final decision. Obviously, if you say yes, absolutely great. If you say no, you need to make a decision. Or I already know the truth that this kid is not mine, even though that I be cheating on. But I'm gonna take the responsibility of this kid, or I just going to apply for any type of separation or divorce. But I think you gotta be clear, you guys, and nothing under emotions and think with intelligence in this moment. Even for my brother, I say Camilo, the moment that you have a kid, even that we're gonna be excited and happy, but even though I don't care, I just say just hypothetically, hypothetically, I need to know that this kid is yours. I don't care if I say I don't care if I need to pay for a DNA test, but I need to prove that this kid is yours, or you gotta prove that the baby is yours, Camilo. Because women sometimes they're really evil, they're super evil, and it's gonna be how do you say messed up?
Mix up or messed up?
Messed up. It's messed up. If you raise a kid in what you said, the money is not a big thing, because you Americans, you guys have been raised like, okay, I lost money, I'm gonna make more money. It's just comes and goes. But the emotional thing is the most stronger bond. That bomb. Sorry, bomb. Lasso. Bond. Okay, bond. Thank you, babe. To break. That's the part. A lot of guys going to under depression, under therapy, because they find out that the kid is not your child. So that's the part. I think that way. If we got a kid, a boy, they say, you know what? even though that is or grandson or grandkid or whatever, you need to have a DNA test. If it's not mandatory, you need to. Why? It's better to be clear. I think it's the best thing. It's the best thing to be clear with that information.
I'll give you another thing also. We got 38 people in the building. Shout out to all you guys being here. What do we have here on the average night, guys? We have about a little less than 100 people, a little more than 100 people per night, right? Mm-hmm. We got 37 people here. You know why?
Mm-hmm. I know why.
Because of this topic.
Yeah.
Most men do not want to know the truth.
They skip. Oh, this. Oh, hell no.
No, they don't want to know the truth. We've been doing YouTube long enough to know what topics pop, what topics don't. The last time we did this live stream, it wasn't that many dudes here. You know why? Because we like to we always want to say women don't take accountability and they lie to themselves and they're delusional. We love delusion just as much as women do. We love delusion. You'll sit up there and the paperwork will say this is not your child, but because the woman manipulated you emotionally, and a lot of guys emotionally, this is why we only got 38 people here. We appreciate every one of you guys. We really do. But what I'm saying is this is a very important topic that we all need to hear on an international basis. And so let's get back to the video. And what she was saying, that two guys worked in the DNA center. One guy quit because he was like, I can't take this. The other guy stayed, and they said that 40% of the guys were not the father. Shout out to you guys that are here. I appreciate you, gentlemen. We both appreciate you because we know this is an important topic for you guys that have international children. We're going to get to the good part, okay?
That's the part.
Yes, sir. We're laying a foundation of the average things that take place, but we're going to get to at least 5 wonderful benefits for your kids on an international scale as well as local. But let's get back to the video.
Do you know what would happen if DNA testing was mandatory? If they tested all women? You'd have an calamity.
My sister told me the other day this should be standard. My sister told me last week.
That's why they won't do it.
She said it should be a standard thing at the hospital.
But that's why they won't do it. To me, it just makes sense. Give an epidural, DNA test.
What's up?
Man,
what's up is why you've been lying to me for 11 years, telling me that DJ is my real son.
11 years old.
Why you been lying to me?
What have I been lying about?
I got a DNA test done.
A DNA saying what?
Saying that he's not my son.
Let me see this DNA test.
You don't need to see it. I saw it.
How DNA test gonna say?
How you gonna be lying to me for 11 years? Why would you do that to me?
Where's the lie?
The lie is you. You are the lie. You have been lying to me for 11 years, having me believe that my son that I've been raising for 11 years is not really my son. Like, how could you do that to me? Like, what can you say for yourself right now?
What made you get a DNA test?
Because I went through your phone. Talking about me, laughing and bragging, telling your friends that I have no idea that he's really not my son. So
that's the part. That I think one of the worst feelings, and I told to Dre one day, one of the worst feelings for a human, doesn't matter what this situation or other situation, is feel used, is feel like a little toy. And what he say is, she said, what makes you think to take a DNA test?
Mm-hmm.
And what he said, like, everybody's laughing at me, thinking that it's my kid, it's not even my kid. And what he say is true. That's one of the things that's one of the worst feelings that a human being can feel used, feel like a little toy. Like, I use this is damaged, I throw it away. That's one of the worst feelings for a human being.
Remember, I often tell you guys the story of, true story, you know, I always got stories of the guy that I know. He's the father, right? The father worked for Chrysler for 45 years, hardworking man, right? His wife was, he had a younger wife. She was a church girl. She got pregnant twice by 2 dudes while they were married that were his friends in church. So 2 of his church friends got his wife pregnant, raised the kids. One of the boys grew up. He thought that he got a girl pregnant. He was so happy. The whole city, well, the whole town was a small town, was laughing at the son. Why? Everybody in the town knew who the real father was. But because of the emotional prostitution that the mother put on the son, who was a descendant or the son of the one guy that embraced two kids that wasn't his. He saw his daddy do it. So when he thought he got somebody pregnant, he embraced that kid that everybody in the city was telling him, dude, that is not your son. Everybody knows who the daddy is. Why don't you get a DNA test? He would not get a test because he did not want to face the truth after being emotionally attached and financially attached to this young child. And a lot of us men are manipulated like that. Before we go back to the video and we hit the super chat.
I think you guys let me know, or Andre, just put in this scenario. Let's say that, for example, let's say it happens to you, for example.
Right.
That feeling to you suspect, everybody's telling you, you feel it like something is not right. And you don't want to take the DNA test because you got a lot of fear. And I laugh because it just reminds me when you're waiting for a result of STD test.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't eat, you feel like you're gonna die the next day. Like, oh my God, I'm positive. I know that I'm positive. I know God is, how do you say, punishment. Yeah. I think it's almost the same thing. It's a horrible feeling that you can feel. So my question is kind of the same feeling like when you're waiting the results and you know that, or you feel like something is not right here. I hope that is my kid, but what about if it's not my kid?
And a lot of guys don't want to face that.
Yeah,
a lot of men, and I'm not saying some men. I know quite a few guys that the scariest thing for them is for it to come out that they aren't the fathers, when the truth is already out that they aren't the fathers. I'll say that again. Some guys fear the truth coming out that you are not the father, even though everybody already knows. And you know you are not the father. Your mother knows it. Your pastor knows it. Your imam knows it. Your rabbi knows it. Your dog knows it. Your cat knows it. And your parent knows it. Everybody knows there is nothing about that child that says anything that's you. The woman knows it. And in many cases, the biological father knows you aren't the father. But because you are so emotionally prostituted to this child, there's no other way to say it. This woman, you didn't use your finances only. She used your emotions to prostitute her child into your life in order, just like they use your money to prostitute and buy things, bring things into your life. They use your emotions instead of money only to prostitute you into be connected enough to that child that once a DNA test was used, you're emotionally attached. You don't know how to let go because I said earlier, you fear and feel ashamed if you stay with that child, but yet there's something in you, especially as a Black man, that tells you should feel guilty if you left that child. That's not even yours. God will not condemn you, but yet you condemn you for leaving a child that is not yours. That's emotional prostitution.
I think it's a lot of going on, a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings going on if you find out that it's not your kid.
Shout out to Javon or Javon.
And he says, salute, OG.
Shout out to you.
And Andrea. What's good, LCV fan? I got hit up for 19 years for a child that wasn't even mine. I found out when she was 8 and have to still keep paying until her 19th birthday.
Wow.
That's the part.
And those are the laws in the States.
And you know what is even worse? That
Thank
I
you
know
for sharing that.
Yes, thank you so much for you. Honestly, that you found out it's not your kid, but one of the worst thing is the kid. The kid is what's going on? Why my dad not seeing me anymore? Why my dad is not calling me anymore? Why my dad? Because not your dad. Why you say like imagine for that poor kid or teenager to face that he's not my dad.
Facts.
So you have been lying to him, mom, for 16 years. He's not my father.
Facts.
So yeah, they don't think about the kids' mental health, emotional health when it comes, especially women. I'm talking about women when they're lying. I think that is one of the another thing. That's one of the worst feelings too. That for a woman is like, I'm not defending women in this moment, but for a woman it's like, I don't know who is the father of my kid. I'm like, oh my God, that is like the craziness.
I've got family members like that 2 or 3 fathers in.
Oh,
I mean 2 or 3 DNA tests in, and that was the father.
No, that's a lot of going on.
Shout out to all.
Oh my God. I say since I was a teenager and I was in puberty, God is no, my head can process that.
No.
Like seriously, like I don't know who is the father. Oh my sweet Lord.
I know. I like what Bobby said. For all you King of the Hill fans that caught on to this, he said, "Gents, do not be like Dale Gribble or Grubble." And we're talking about the animated show King of the Hill, where we all knew that the Indian was the real father, but Dale really thought that the child was his, even though the child looks just like the real father. And everybody in the whole town knows that that's not his kid. That's the Indian guy's father, kid. Don't be like that. But when you're caught in emotional prostitution, it's hard. That's like Andrea said earlier. And like I said, we're going to get to the positive parts. I'm going to tell you why there's some positivity in the 5 things we're going to talk about, the 5 benefits of getting the baby's DNA test and yours done. So there's some positive things we're going to talk about in a second. The reason we're bringing this up is twofold. The reason why we're doing this live stream tonight, gentlemen, twofold. First reason is for those of you that plan on having a child internationally in another country. You may not have a child. You may enter a relationship with somebody internationally. What do you do so that child can get its U.S. citizenship as well as, let's say you have a child in the Philippines. It'd be easier while you're getting in the Philippines, but that child has dual citizenship. What steps do you take to do that? We're going to talk about that so the child can get dual citizenship. What are some of the benefits of the child getting a DNA test on a global scale? So the reason why we're talking about this topic tonight, for those of you that are thinking about in the future having a child, if you never had one, if you want to have one internationally, but we're also talking about this from the perspective of all you guys that plan on moving to other countries within the next 5 months, 5 years, or even within the next 15 years. This is one of the reasons why I keep warning you guys, do not be getting women in the States pregnant. Use your condoms. Use your plan Bs, because you do not want to be a guy that's a good man like many of you are. Then you get a girl in the States pregnant. You had planned on leaving the United States in 5 years. You get somebody pregnant in 2 years. Now you're thinking it's your child, and you find out it's not even your child, and you're still stuck in the United States.
You want to get out of the States, and that child support.
Yeah, that child support just pulls you back.
Oh, no, you can't live.
Yeah. So this is why we're talking about this topic tonight, just in case you guys wonder why we're bringing it up. So shout out to all you King of the Hills fan. He said, I want
one on, but my road to that is complicated.
Right. So I kid you guys, be careful. And my man Ransom said this. Shout out to Ransom in the building. He said this is sad, especially when you have an emotional attachment to the child. That is far more the number one reason that I found in my research why you guys stay. It ain't the money. Like Andrea said, the money comes and go, but you're so close to that kid. Even after some of these situations we're going to look at tonight, just these guys were with the child for just 3 months, 11 months, and they're so emotionally attached to the kid.
But imagine this case that we have here in the video: 11 years. You raised that kid. You how do you say, did night shifts with that baby. You teaching how to ride a bike. You all those things, like, it's just your mind is your memory. Like, I did all those things, and he's not my biological kid. That's super. That's really.
You know me. That's effed up. Yeah.
Exactly. Effed up. Thank you, babe.
And so, you know me. That's like you're raising another man's orgasm. I'll say it again. Y'all know how I talk. You are raising another man's orgasm. I do have a little filter.
No, sweetie, you have filter, but you correct me. But you don't have a filter.
And so I don't know what you're talking about.
You are like a Shrek the dragon, but the male version. And you just put fire over there. And I told her today, babe, you don't have filter when you say things.
Yeah, you know what? Because sometimes shock treatment is good. See, they can get the soft tone from you. Shout out to guys that are watching live on Andrea Wallace TV.
Yeah,
make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. And so, I try to be direct. You are raising. I don't care how many times you did the homework. I don't care how many times you went to the PTA meeting. I don't care how many times you enter him into hockey league, football, baseball, basketball, Christmas, toys. You are doing all that for another man's earth-shaking, feeling so good, contorting, feeling amazing orgasm. That was another man's orgasm. He busted up in her. He shot up the club and hit everything, not you. So all you do is that want to lie to yourselves, lie. But at the end of the day, when you see that little man, or when you see that 13-year-old boy, that 13-year-old boy is another man's orgasm, not yours. And that's why I'm always straightforward about it. I know it sounds kind of, Andre, you're a monster. No,
he does.
The monster is the mother that's lying to you and still talking and having conversations with the biological dad. That's the real monster. Shout out to Theo in the building.
Theo got another name?
Theo Waff.
I thought that your name was Teodoro, because that's how we say in Spanish. Teodoro.
It is Teodoro. What is it? It's Teodoro?
En español es Teodoro. Teodoro.
Teodoro.
Teodoro. I know it's hard.
Teo. O.
Doro.
Dodo.
I know. It's
Dodo.
But for sure, Teo in español. Teo. Okay. So Theo say he got the sloppy tubby, and the the bills and her attitude. Why?
Why are we doing this?
Attitude, she get offended because he got a DNA test.
Right. He said, I got a friend. I'm gonna let you go ahead and read that. Babe.
I got a friend who went off to war. Newest girl was pregnant. Before he left married. Before he left married, her came back a year and a half. Went back. The another year came back and find out it wasn't his due to a medical issue.
Just like you were saying, just like the one lady was saying, the truth came out because of a medical issue came up and found out that wasn't the father. And then Bobby said this to part 2.
Bobby he said she was the only thing getting him through that whole situation. Every time he divorced the mother, he almost deleted her. And he is still a father to the child. The girl is now in her 20s.
Absolutely correct. Like I mentioned before, once you're emotionally prostituted, it's hard to let go. It's hard for men to let go. You just be like, F it. I put money into this child. I put time into this child. I put energy into this child. I might as well go ahead and say it's my child, while the other man can sit back and reap all the benefits of the glory, because the child is going to one day go look for their father. I know if I was in a situation I didn't know my real father, I don't care who raised me, I'm going to one day look for what my real dad is.
Absolutely.
I may even love you and appreciate you for raising me.
But you know what is more curious in this world?
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the spiritual world too, that you, in some way, somehow, I believe this, some way, somehow, if, for example, if that's your case, for example, that you don't know who is your father, you're gonna find who is your father in social media, in doesn't matter. You will find who is your father, because I told you the blood calls you, and that happens in my family, in outside, like outside of my uncles, that they have one kid or two kids outside. We didn't know about it, and for some reason that kid started, who is my father? Who is, let me reach out to Facebook, let me reach out to social media to find out who is my real father. But that's what we say in my family. We always say the blood calls you. Absolutely.
The blood calls you.
Absolutely. Okay, wait a second. Let me, okay, second, let me go here.
And remember, guys,
he say that he don't need a filter. You. Yeah, so Andre is like
thank
that.
you, gentlemen.
Andre is like that for real. Tori say, I might be the only one in the chat that might settle down with a single mom, but you guys don't do it.
He said, I might do it, but for the rest of you guys, don't do
Don't do it.
He like I said,
thank you for your honesty. That's
for real.
great.
Like I said earlier, yesterday, like my mom was smoking cigarettes. Boy, I better not catch you with a cigarette in your hand. Wait a minute. You sit up there smoking 2 packs a day, want to tell me not to smoke cigarettes. That was my mom.
Oh, my dad too, with a beer. When I was younger, I was like maybe 17, 18, and I used to drink more. My dad, Andrea, don't get used to this. This is ruining your life. And my dad was like, F up. Yeah, Dad, I understand, you know. My God. No. Okay.
You want to hit the super chat?
Wait a second, babe. Let me, I think we'll read this one.
We got one at the bottom.
I think Theo, thank you. I know, Official Cubby, he say, what's wrong with racing another man's seat?
Okay.
Another's man.
Orgasm.
Let me put, like, you say organs for me would be like the winner of ovulation.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The winner of getting
the ovulation,
there.
Yeah, the ovulation winner.
Ovulation winner, thank you, babe.
International Quiet Storm is in the building.
He say, my best friend sell the lead. Wow. After his wife divorced him. And at the end of his deployment
into the military, yeah.
During the divorce, he found out the name of his 3 kids were his. He still have to pay I'm gonna say in my English, 3,300 in child support. He couldn't handle the pain. That's one of the things. Wow, that's sad. That's really, I'm so sorry for your friend, International Quiet Storm. That is sad.
That is sad.
It's sad. And it happens. It just happens. It just, like, you see a lot of stories of guys after divorce, they delete himself.
Yeah.
Like the Power Ranger, this dude that it was the Green Power Ranger.
Yeah, the Green Power Ranger.
He deleted himself after his divorce. Okay.
Wow.
That's really sad. Okay, I think we
go back to the video.
Yeah, wait a second. Here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
So this is the guy that he found out after 11 years that wasn't his son.
I got a DNA test done. Like, you think I'm stupid or something? Like, how could you do?
People in the military, we go away for 12 months.
Just like
let's say now, right before you left, you shot the whole club up, but you didn't hit nobody. So the club was empty. But then as soon as you left, Tyrone slipped in and Tyrone hit.
You know what shout out the club is?
No. Okay.
We call shoot up the we call a man having an orgasm inside of a woman shooting up the club. So whenever you hear shooting up the club, that's what it is. So he said you went off into the military, you're gone. Deployment means you're going to another country. So like not Theo, but Quiet Storm said his friend went off the 3 to 4 deployments. That means that he came home, went back, 4 times in a war. And so this guy is saying, you know, you're in the military, you're being deployed. He said, you was shooting up the club before you left, but you ain't hit nothing. I mean, you ain't had no kids. But then you come back. So let's listen what he has to say.
Continue.
Let me go back a little bit just to let you see what he was saying. Now that you know what shooting up the club is.
Now, right before you left, you shot the whole club up, but you didn't hit nobody. So the club was empty. But then as soon as you left, Tyrone slipped in and Tyrone hit. But then you came back. But because you're so, oh my God, you never went to do a DNA test.
Now, so you were behind my back?
Yeah, I'm grown.
Now, this is a situation of the son did a DNA test behind his mother's back with his dad. So the dad and the son got together and did a DNA test. And the son is confronting his mother.
I'm old enough now. I feel like I got the right to do that. So I just wanted to get a test and see what is my daddy.
And so you called him?
Yeah, I called him. He was like, he thought I was his son. So that means that
we don't see nothing funny.
Nah.
But see, I told you that was your dad. I first of all, that is your dad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you took the test with and what you had going on, but that's your daddy.
Yeah. It sounds good, but look, I'm just saying.
It sounds good.
No. The father and the son who's talking found out that wasn't his real father.
Okay.
Now the son is talking to his mama.
Okay.
And the mama is trying to blame the son for getting a DNA test.
That's the result. The results say what it say now. I can't lie. I can't fake no results.
65% of DNAs come out negative.
Realize that these guys are a very well-known YouTubers in Africa, in Nigeria area. 65% of children in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, they find out it's not the father. 65%.
All births.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, fuck, it's foul out there, bro.
What do you have to say, Ghost Lady?
Well, mine came positive.
Oh, you had a test?
No. No, you know what? I always say to my husband, if he's
Just lift up your mic, please. Yeah.
What's hard? So, no, every time I always tell my husband, please, if you're ever suspicious or anything, don't involve me. Go test and then say nothing. Only tell me if you find out something.
Bro, that's a huge number. 65.
That's like 65 out of 100 dads. I don't think their father's kids.
Bro, how do you
guys want to test your kids?
Their kids' father.
No, mine's got my forehead.
Oh, my kid is my. Fortunately and unfortunately,
Guys,
my kid looks.
Here, Tori got a comment over there. Tori say, I've seen this so much in the military. When we go back from Afghanistan, at least 30 brothers in the military went through this.
That's sad. And you notice what this young brother just said. I'm going to back this up a little bit. He said, the young brother at the bottom, after hearing, because he didn't know 65%. What did he just say? I know my kids are mine because they got a big forehead like me. You know how many big forehead people in Africa? How many times we seen a male and a female that got a big forehead in Africa? And you want to say these kids are yours because you got a big forehead in the kids.
La Cruz Roja in Cali, if you want to have a DNA test, especially in Cali, you can go to La Cruz Roja, pruebas de paternidad, absolutely. Fundación Valle de Lili, you can have a DNA test too.
So there are places around here in Colombia, as well as in Brazil, and other places where you can actually go into the center. We're going to talk about why it's important not to get a DNA test mailed in, but actually, even in the United States, Canada, or UK, but actually go to a lab. I'll tell you why that's important in a second, and it'll be a benefit for you.
That's good to know this information. I mean, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're gonna hear this guy say, just like Andrea say. Andrea always say, "Well, I got this feature from my dad, and I got that feature from my dad." And I'm like, I don't care what you got from your dad, unless you got your dad's DNA.
I love my aunties, my dad's.
Now, yeah, she does have traits for
yeah, for real.
More on her dad's side than her mom's side. I give her that one, but that still doesn't matter. Get the test, gentlemen.
That's like 65 out of 100 dads are not their father's kids.
Bro, how do you
guys want to test your kids?
Their kids' fathers.
No. Mine's got my forehead.
Oh,
It's
my
me,
kid.
it's me,
This
that's
is
why.
my. Fortunately and unfortunately,
Guys,
my kid looks like me.
test that.
No, my kid is like literally.
Don't you have brothers?
My kid is me. Nah,
Don't
my
you
kid
have
looks like
Because what are you saying?
Both of these guys just read the stats of 65%, and yet they're trying to say, well, because my kid looks like me. How many guys in the States we found out is not the father, but everybody said the kid looks like you? So get over that, guys. And I mean it. Get past that the kid get out of your, like Andrea said, get out of your emotions. Mm-hmm. Start thinking rationally and on the business side of all this thing, because this is a business side as well. Your kids can be your twin, can be your mama twin, your grandmama twin. She look just like my auntie. I don't care. It does not matter. So many times we always say the child, how many times on Marbury we seen that? She looks just like him. He looks just like him. We've seen all that. You guys say it all the time. The child looks just like me. She got my ears. She got my this. And then you get the DNA test. You find out none of the stuff that looks like you meant anything, because that child is not yours. You just were emotionally prostituted, and you thought with your emotions, you saw through rose-colored glasses, and all the things you thought looked like you with the child was not your child. So be an adult, be a man. We were sent to this planet to be men in every area of life. I'm saying that again before we go back to the video. We were sent here to be men. Hard, good, bad, doesn't matter. We are supposed to be men in every aspect of life. And when it comes to being responsible, some areas where women and kids and old people can be emotional, but you can't. You can't afford it. You can't afford paying a $200. It says in the United States, it takes over $300,000 to raise the average child to 18 years. You're spending over $300,000 to raise a child from 1 day to 18 years old because you were emotionally prostituted. And you actually believe because that child got your nose that makes it your child, just like these men are saying. Stop being simps and be men. There are times when you're a man, you wear the white cowboy hat. There are times when you're a man and you wear the black cowboy hat. You will not always be the hero in the movie of life if you are a real man about life. You'll never be the hero every time.
Okay. Slow you boys down. I know that you are Uncle Dre here, but you're my husband too. I got you are next to me, so slow you boys down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we got a question and we're gonna respond. Dre, when are you having kids? And that was our talking that we have today. And in a few years, of course, absolutely, we're gonna bring kids to this family. We're gonna let you guys know when it's more.
We're closer to that time.
Yeah, but when he's done, when it's
official,
but after the months that I told Ray, let's say that I have a 1 month pregnant, I'm not gonna announce anything until I'll be at least 4 months.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with stress. So yes, you guys, but yeah, in a few years, absolutely.
Shout out to Global Homie in the building.
Okay, Global Homie say, what's up? Every man knows. Okay. Every man knows a man that when through this, and women wonder why men have trust issues. I'm half Nigerian and they be cheating, men and women. Wow. Say, Dre, come on, she said this every year.
That's because every year you guys ask.
Every year you guys have.
You guys always ask every year.
Yeah, in a few years, you guys.
And the cool part for us is we want to establish our marriage. Most people don't establish their relationships to be solidified first. They have the kids like right after, or even have kids before, to where they never get a chance to get close. And in the United States, one of the number one groups to get divorces are the empty nesters.
The feel frustrated, like
the older couples. They don't know each other. The kids are grown. The kids are gone, and the house is empty. And you guys don't even know anything about each other, and so you end up getting divorced in the United States. That's very common. So me and Andrea decided, especially since Andrea is so young, we decided let's solidify our marriage, our union.
So young.
And then, I know, right? and then we can focus on the family. And then as the family continues to grow and they move on, me and Andrea will always have that oneness, that welding together that can't be separated. We know that no matter how many kids we have, there's a special bond between us two that a lot of couples don't get a chance to develop that. They just get married or they get in a relationship, and a year or two later, they got 2 or 3 kids, and they have to spend all their energy on the kids and never anything on each other.
I think you guys is and like I always said, respect your opinion and everything. And I know not just Dar, I know a lot of people ask like that question for us, and we're like, we especially me as a woman, because the pressure is going to me, that I'm not going by society opinion or family opinion. It's just like when we feel ready, we feel ready. We still a lot of things that we want to accomplish. We still a lot of travel that we want to do before having kids. And that I think I don't want to feel frustrated to then I wish I can do this before having a kid, because I know the kid is a big responsibility. At least the first year, at least the newborn is a lot of responsibility. So I say I'm not feeling rushing right now, and Dre either. And that's a conversation that we had today too. That's very curious that they asked about this, or you guys, or what Dar asked about this. But yeah,
shout out to Jaquez in the building, right there in the green.
Oh yeah, wait a second, but let me go here. Girl will say, I have a girl. Okay, I have a girl I was dating. She vanished, and she came back with a kid talking about. So okay, with a kid talking about, I'm sorry. You are a good man. Let's try it again. You can pretend, but you are the dad. I say, what the? Are you crazy?
No DNA test, you just disappear. Then all of a sudden, you're the dad.
Absolutely.
Jaquez says this. He said, go ahead.
Thanks for another great show. Thea Fats. Okay, Shadron gets the O, and you get the L.
Yep. Yeah, Chad Drone gets the orgasm, and you get the L for taking care of his kid. Absolutely correct.
Thank you, Rafi, for being here. The family, Andre and Andre.
David Dice in the building. Appreciate you guys, all you gentlemen here. Let's go back to the video.
Oh, guys.
No, man, that forehead, I know. That one is mine, that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ziggy's max.
Yeah.
Fuck, 65%.
Bad, bro. And by the way, men, if you find out that you're not the dad, you can claim damages for all the money you've spent on support.
In SA.
Sure.
Now, we wish that we had that in the United States, that if you find out that you're not the father, you could take her to court and get your money back, like he's saying they can do in South Africa.
No, sir.
Right.
You can claim damages, take it to court for all the monies you paid for a child that's not yours, and they never told you that the child is yours. You can.
Look at this. That's the proof right there. That's it. I'm lying from the very beginning.
No, you didn't. Really?
No, you always
You did a DNA test without asking me first?
Yes, I did.
No, this is fake.
Only problem I have.
Now, as you look at this video, this is a perfect scenario of a man that's been emotionally prostituted. He's invested so much into this child when his mother and everybody else knew this ain't your baby boy. But instead of wanting to get the truth, the mother got the truth. And look at his response after being emotionally prostituted.
I wish I had done it a long time ago when it first crossed my mind. Zero. You know what zero is.
How could you sit here and do this without me?
What? I don't need your permission.
You had no right. This is not your business. This is
Wait a minute.
my child.
No, it's family business.
You know what?
She said this is family business. A lot of times, go ahead, babe.
That was his mom, right?
That was
so
his mom.
grandma feel it. That's what we said. Yeah, grandmas, especially, grandmas knows. Grandma can feel like, that's not my grandson or my grandkid. That's, no.
And I came across so many videos of the grandmothers finding out the truth. When the sons did not want to be men enough. I'll say that again. In life, and I mean this to all of us guys, in life, you will wear the white cowboy hat normally. Your normal days as a man, no matter what country you're from, no matter what culture you're from, you will wear that white cowboy hat, put it to the side, and ride through life. But there will always, if you are truly a good man, I'm going to say this again, not a simp, not a wimp, not a lame, not a creep. If you are a good man, there are times in life you must put on the black cowboy hat. You are not the hero. Everybody's going to be mad at you. Some people will be disappointed in you. There are times in this marriage I wear the white cowboy hat. And there are times in this marriage I tick Andrea off and make her mad because I have to put on the black cowboy hat. And I don't mean being mean, but there are certain directions that we're headed into that Andrea notices or may not notice at that time. You cannot get around it if you are a good man. You cannot be a good man and wear the white cowboy hat all the time. In emotional prostitution, when a woman uses your emotions to prostitute you or use you or lure you in with the child, you end up in situations like this to where you will cuss out your own mama because you knew that that child wasn't yours. You always knew it. You probably know who the real baby daddy is, and yet you cuss out your own mama for showing motherly love. I'm gonna say this again. Your mother, who has shown motherly love, we say the only person that can love you unconditionally is your mama, right?
A good mom.
A good mom.
A good mom.
But when she does it, you're so emotionally caught up with wearing the white cowboy hat in this situation, you too scared to be a man and put on the black cowboy hat and get a DNA test yourself. Your mama had to put on the black cowgirl hat. Your mama had to play the villain. Your mama had to play the villain so the truth could come out. And then you want to tell your mama, this is not your business. So you telling your mama and your aunties and your cousins, let's talk about this as family. You're going to be lying to your aunties, your mama, your dad or your stepdad, your sisters, your brothers. You expect your whole family to join in on your lie when your whole family knows the truth. But you want to say this is none of their business. But when it's time to bring the child over for Halloween, it's none of their business. When it's time to bring that child over for Christmas gifts and them spending their money on this child, it's none of their business. If that child falls off its bicycle one day at 12 years old and breaks his arm and a family shows up at the hospital to make sure the child's all right, it's none of their business. So when it's time for family stuff to come together as one, it's their business. But when it's time to find out the truth, it's none of their business. We're hypocrites as men. We want women to take responsibility and show accountability. But when it's our turn, this is us.
Listen.
You try to see everything from this is just to prove a point A.
Listen.
It's to prove a point A.
Say anything to you, you do whatever she says. She say jump, you jump. And I bet you evil information, you still gonna keep it.
This is my woman and my child. This has nothing to do with you.
Yes, it does. Listen, I put $10,000 in that child's college fund.
This woman said, I put $10,000 in that child's college fund, but this has nothing to do with her.
The part is, I think, you let me know that he is taking up all the angerness and frustration to his mom.
Yep. Because he has nobody around to take it out on.
Absolutely.
He's not going to take it out on the child.
He looks very young.
Of course. He's not going to take it out on the baby mama. So who can he take? He's not going to take it out on himself until mom is not around. He's going to take it out on his mother. Why? Because he knows that a mother's love, for the most part, is an unconditional love. A mother will let you stay in there, and he looks like he wants to hit his mother in the mouth, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All you dudes that want to wear the white cowboy hat all the time, you're doing life wrong. I'm going to say this again. All you guys that think that you're the good guy every day, you're doing life wrong. If your life is centered around you wearing the white cowboy hat every day for the rest of your days, you're doing life wrong. That's what stresses men out. That's what makes men depressed and want to self-delete, because they thought they were supposed to wear the white cowboy hat every day. And when those moments happen in life where you have to put the black cowboy hat on, it makes you guys so depressed, so stressed that you can't take it and you self-delete yourself.
That's the part. It's really unfair, and we're not judging. Absolutely. Because like I told Dre, you don't know what's the pain that person is dealing with. Mm-hmm. And find out this. If for a man is enough the cheating on, imagine find out that kid that you raised for 20 years is not my kid. Now 3 kids, like a friend here are just talking about, is a lot. That's situation that you don't how do you say, babe, wish to.
You can't come back. You don't wish that on your worst enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to my man David said this. David says,
okay, if you don't get a DNA test, you're gonna end it up like Marcus Graham, and with the money on the dresser, hold the sheets.
Like we watched last night on for guys that don't get that, last night our movie was Boomerang with Eddie Murphy and Halle Berry, and I forgot the other young lady's name already, the one that was married to Mike Tyson. And she left the money on the table, and he was just sitting there holding the sheets like she had used him, because she did use him. And so I keep forgetting her name, but she did use him. So you don't want to end up like Marcus Graham being used. And that's why I keep going back to this emotional prostitution thing. Once again, we're laying a foundation, getting past all the bad news, just so we can share with you the 5 important things that are good news. So I know it feels like, Robin Givens, that's who it was. Robin Givens. And thank you very much, gentlemen. See how fast I forgot her name. We just watched the movie last night. Robin Givens left the money on the table, left him $200, even though he had money, but she used him. He needs to stop wearing diapers and put on his big boy pants. We say that, but there's a lot of men that don't want to put. I know men in their 60s that don't want to put on their big boy pants. I know men in their 40s with money that don't want to put on their big boy pants. They dress, behave, and move just like they did when they were 22 years old. I know dudes that are fathers with money. Fathers with money still act like they 25. They walk like they're 25. They talk like they're 25, and they behave like they're 25 years old. There's a lot of us baby boys out here. There's a lot of us baby boys that are out here. Let's get back to the video. This man is mad at his mama for trying to save his life.
Lord knows what he's up to now. No, what?
Because I already know how you act. Every time we ask for something or do something, you throw it in our face.
Listen, boy, that's why we don't have a good relationship now. You don't listen. Face the truth. Face the truth. You never want to face the truth. That girl ain't never gonna be about nothing. Face that fact. Deal with that.
There's a couple of states that are adopting this new law about paternity test, DNA testing before the man signs the birth certificate. Ooh. Should that be a thing? Should it be mandatory for paternity tests to be taken before the birth certificate is signed?
Mandatory?
Mandatory, like soon as that baby is born.
Absolutely. Before that, I think, like I said before, I 100% agree that it's a mandatory law.
It should be mandatory.
Yeah, around the world. I think it's so many things that if a woman play dirty, it's your BS. Deal with your BS. But a man, especially with you guys, most of you guys, it's hard for you guys to share your emotions. That's why a lot of people, not just the case that we have here, just let's say in general, a lot of men they leave themselves because they don't know how to deal with emotions.
True.
So that's what I said. I'm 100% agree with the DNA test. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's continue on. So they say in a couple of states have already started the process of legalizing mandatory.
We're taking a DNA test and establishing who is the father. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Finally.
We made it. We are getting some fucking where. Hell motherfucking yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And yes.
And I'm happy my mom's made sure that she didn't sign over this house to me. Because she had an assumption that this was going to happen. We thought she was.
Right now, this guy is putting her out after he found out that the kid was not his kid after all these years.
She was being mean. And thank God she didn't give me this damn house until 20 years in. Get the hell out. Get the hell out. Because you're not even on the guy. None of us is on the lease. It's my mama's house. Get out. Get the fuck out.
After all these years.
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to go?
Take your fucking disgusting fucking dogs. Take your goddamn dogs and go. Take your dogs and go. You gotta go. You have to go.
We have nowhere to go.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. You gotta fucking go. You out of here. Don't us shit. No, because I don't want you coming next to me, fucking putting your hands on me.
She gotta go because she can't keep a clean house. You see how filthy that house is? She can't even keep a clean house.
Stop. Stay your ass over there. No, stop. Stay over there.
Fun fact. Paternity tests, which are used to confirm a man is the biological father of his child, are illegal in France.
Yes, he's absolutely correct, as well as other countries. So you guys better find out what countries it's illegal. There are many countries where it is illegal to do a paternity test. I'm gonna let this part ride and then want to hear what Andre has to say.
And if a father is caught using a paternity test in France or in any other country, he could face up to a year in jail and a $16,000 fine.
Yes, $16,000, which is probably 20,000 in euros, but 16,000 USD. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm calculating it correct, and a year in jail if you get caught as a man trying to give a DNA test with yourself and a child in France. That goes to show you, passport bros, don't get caught up in France having babies.
In 1994, France banned DNA testing because it had the potential to break up too many families. Even today, at-home DNA tests like 23andMe are banned in France. Why?
Okay, before they go to that one, let's hear what Andre has to say.
Talking about France, I think wow, that's surprised me because I didn't know about it. But I think if in France it's not legal to take a DNA test, you should go to another country, to Spain, or I don't know, Spain, Italy, doesn't matter. Get that DNA test approved. If the baby is yours, don't have babies in France.
Just don't, no French kids.
No French kids. Because if we can prove that, the only way that you can prove that, and this is law by the United States. Mm-hmm. This is law, like for real, even for Colombians. But the United States, if you let's say that I got a Colombian husband, He got a job over there. He applied for a visa over there. Then he applied for visas for us and our 2 kids. The U.S. mandatory. They need to prove that his kids are that our kids are his kids.
Wow.
And a lot
Even
of
as
guys,
a
lot of Colombian guys find out that is not your kid because the embassy asks you for a DNA test. Yes, sir. Just for working reasons, he finds out that I see cases like that the dad find out like, sir, one of your kids is not your biological kid. So yeah, in the same way, if you got a baby with a French girl, Italian, Colombian, Mexican, the embassy for have that citizen, the American citizenship, they need to prove that that's your kid. You need to have a DNA test. That's why I say, even let's say that Andre is from the UK. I'm still agree. I don't have to be lying. He doesn't have to be lying to the embassy to every time that we apply for a visa around the world, say that's not you, but is not your biological kid. So that's why if you guys having kids overseas, DNA test, guys, face it.
Yes.
Face it, because it's a lot of going on. It's not just you having any residency around the world or let's say a migrant visa here in Colombia. Is business side too, because that kid obviously is gonna have rights with the stuff. How do you say your business in the United States, citizenship in the United States? Imagine if you do all those things and it's not your kid. But in this case, you guys, the embassy requires a DNA test. Even that if you live in here for 10 years and the baby was born here, there's still the embassy requires for a DNA test, the US. So like it or not, you for mandatory, you will know if it's your kid or not.
Yep. So we're going to be getting off into that in a few moments. We're going to finish off the rest of the video, and then we're going to get to the good news. 5 reasons or 5 benefits why you should get a DNA test nationally, but especially for us, international children. So we're going to talk about that in a few moments, but we're going to finish off this video. Shout out to the U.S. Embassy then. I know, right?
That's why I
finally something from the embassy.
Like it's something that has a woman, has a Colombian. You can, I don't want that. No, sweetie. You want your baby with a U.S. passport, you got to face it. Yep. So yes.
Yeah, and people don't talk about that, but that's true.
It's true.
But that's a good story when you say even if a Colombian works in the United States.
Doesn't matter. Every person, doesn't matter what nationality, go to the States and move with his family, they need to prove that that's your biological kids.
Wow. He said, can you get a you can read it from over there, babe.
Can you get a pre-child DNA test in a partner spouse having a child? I think in Colombia you can do that.
No.
In Colombia you can do that?
Nope. We're going to get to that in a second. I'll tell you why.
Sorry. I thought that you can do that by before the baby was born.
Nope. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on our list of stuff. That's a good question, Aiken. But there's a reason why for that. It depends on where you go to get that test. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. It's among the 5 things, the 5 benefits. So we're going to talk about that. That's a really good question. I'm glad you brought that up. So let's go back to the video. We're almost done with that. And then we're going to start talking about the 5 benefits.
Would you name our child Darius? It's not our child. It's not even our child. No, it's not my son.
Yes, you've been raising him for 3 years.
Yeah, I've been raising him, and you know that was somebody.
Been raising him for 3 years. Named the child after him, and she's going to confess that she knew it was another man's child.
Else's child.
Yeah.
You know that was who the fuck?
He even looks like family.
No, he looks like family.
She comes clean.
Why have you sat there and let me got my last name? Are you fucking kidding me?
All right.
There you go.
During the time that we had a break, it was one time. All right. We were going through stuff, and that's it.
Oh, okay, one time.
I didn't think anything
You just don't have to raise somebody else's kid.
One time. With your child. Why does it matter?
That's tough.
Why?
What do you guys think?
Why is he telling you to do that anyway?
Brother.
Well, you're never gonna tell Blue that you aren't his biological father.
Now here's a little skit where the mother and the mother and the boyfriend or husband are having a conversation about a boy named Blue. Maybe you guys have seen this. The father is just kind of like, I mean, I guess the stepfather, I guess, is kind of having a tantrum because even though he knows it's not his real child, the truth is starting to come out. And so the mother and the guy who's raising the child, even though he knows it's not his child, are having a conversation. That's what this is about.
That's my son. That ain't your car.
So he's saying that's my son, even though it's not biologically his son. We're going to come back to your notes in a second, babe.
Yeah.
It's not biologically his son, but he's saying to his wife, that's not your call. She cheats, have a child. He accepts it, but she's throwing it back in his face.
Yes, he's your son.
I never saw this show.
That's my point. We all need to understand that. You said it yourself. It don't change nothing, remember?
My words against me, huh?
Raw. And I say this with love. You're acting like you're the first person who's raising a child that ain't their own blood.
You got some nerve, Nova. What's gonna happen to Blue when he go to school now?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. You put this out there. Somebody gonna say something. Yeah, you gonna hear something.
The day my husband come home and asked me for a DNA test for my 3 kids, let's say if we have 3 kids, I am filing for divorce the second day because
Okay, let's hear what Andre has to say in regards to the policy.
What you guys asking about the DNA test during the pregnancy? That's the whole how do you say, the whole title. They say in Colombia you can have both. They say
so you can.
Yes, you can. One of them is, how do you say, invasiva. I don't know how to say invasiva in English. They're gonna do an ultrasound too, and they're gonna they say they're gonna take out a little liquid, in my English,
right?
Liquid,
right.
to study the cells. That is during the pregnancy, and no invasivas, either the typical DNA test by blood or yeah, but yeah, you can do that too.
And that's why I said when it comes to the exam, the yes is where you get it done. Notice Andrea said at the doctor's office and under prenatal care and so forth, to be able to get the exam before the baby is born. So she said yes, but it has to be at the doctor's office. We're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why in a second is the location so importante. Now let me let you go ahead.
But the one that boys say about here Akin, he said, but this one, the one that you asking for, is really high percentage to have an abortion, because it's really like the hearsay, it's invasiva. It's really dangerous for the baby and for the mother. Do those type of, you can do it, but it's got to be under a doctor's recommendation, on the doctor's office, because it's really dangerous for the baby, for the pregnancy. So that's why the better is the DNA test, the typical by blood after the baby was born.
Okay. Okay, so now we know that that's not common because of the dangers.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
And shout out to my man Official Kobe in the building. Shout out to you, brother. He said that's my homeboy Kofi playing Blue. Oh, that's your homeboy, Blue's dad. Shout out to your homeboy, man. He played a good part in that scene, without a doubt. Yeah, the crashing out stepdads. Yep. Let me scroll down. Let's continue on. Shout out to Necro in the building. He said, "Evening, Andre and Andrea. Also, my blue book brothers, abundance to us all." Yes, sir, brother.
Abundancia para todos.
Yes, sir. And shout out to Tiger Blood being in the building as well. Peace unto you as well, brethren. Glad that you guys are here. Let's continue on with this next part. Young ladies are coming together and they're saying that if you ask me for a DNA test, I am going to divorce you. And a lot of women on social media feel the same way. if you ask them for a DNA test, they will divorce you. Let's get started.
The day my husband come home and ask me for a DNA test for my 3 kids, let's say if we have 3 kids, I am filing for divorce the second day because bottom line is
guilty.
No, I'm not guilty.
You're guilty.
That's
You're guilty.
That's
You're guilty.
insulting.
You're guilty. I
I'm
don't care.
married with you. I'm
You're
married.
That's guilty.
I'm married for
You're
10
guilty.
years, and then
Sounds
you
like
want
guilt.
to. No, that's
Sounds
not
like
guilt.
guilt.
That's disrespectful.
like-
Because to me,
You're
because to
guilty.
me,
Maybe you saw something.
if my husband asks me to have a DNA test for our children, whether it's 1 or 2, I will be filing for divorce because if you have not seen, if I haven't given you any idea that I'm cheating on you, you decided to ask me for a DNA test, to me, you don't trust me. What's the point of...
You can't dictate what I consider signs of you cheating on me. You can't tell me that's not a sign. It may be a sign to me, but it may not be a sign of cheating to you.
Being in that relationship.
If I found out my husband had a DNA test after I just pushed a baby out, immediately I leave the hospital, I'm taking my child, and I'm filing divorce papers. The men are so upset about this. When I say
notice
they're
her hand. Guys, look at her hand. No ring. Notice no ring. A woman giving commentary on what she would do to her husband with no ring. Secondly, notice she said, she didn't say I'm taking our child. I'm taking my child.
Why you guys, with your comment section, who the hell is marrying this bald head fool?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh my God, my pets. Okay, and right here, okay, and this is right here is why I'm not married. He wants to deal with this. Who wants to deal with this?
Yeah.
He should ask for one because you cut your hair off.
Yeah.
crashing out, they're crashing out over this. Oh, you don't deserve to be married if you'll file for divorce over that. Who wants to be married to you, sneaky ass? Imagine going behind somebody's back, your wife's back. Because in this scenario, they're married.
Who wants to be married to you with your sneaky self asking for or looking for or taking a DNA behind her back? How many times have you been in a relationship with a woman and she did something sneaky? Went through your phone, called your mama, all on your Facebook page, talking to your ex-girlfriend, all in your Instagram, talk about who did you like, why'd you click her, why you put a heart on hers, why'd you like her picture? All in your business of your friends, gossiping about your homeboys that's been your friends for 22 years. They're always doing something sneaky. But yet, when you sit back and you want to know the truth about something, now you're considered sneaky.
You didn't even have the decency to say something. You just went ahead and did it behind it. You don't even think it's your kid. So here you go doing tests on somebody else's kid, even though it ended up being yours. But what the crap?
That's crazy. You would divorce your husband because he won a paternity test?
Right here?
No, for profit, he said she needs to fix the damn Raggedy app. that button road throwing.
Them teeth are sneaky. That's what that is. Them teeth are sneaky.
Like, I can think of a bunch of other reasons that are way worse to divorce a man. Somebody beating on you, somebody cheating on you, like just other things. But because he wants to ask for a test, I know that originally you may be feeling like he thinks that you cheating or that they're showing trust issues in your relationship, but you can get maybe mad at it. You know, you may need to talk it out in therapy, have a conversation, an argument, but divorce?
You are not. You lied to me. Girl, I went to test that DNA. You lied to me. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. You lied to me. Girl, I went to test that DNA. You lied to me. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. Now you're single mom. Now you're single mom. Now you're single mom.
Now you're single,
So as
mom.
many of you know, I'm a family lawyer who does not practice family law anymore because it was extremely stressful.
Now here's a
Now, in
lawyer.
case you don't know, in many states in the United States, if you are married to a person, any children born of the marriage are just assumed to be children of the husband. So your name is going on that birth certificate. But if you are not married to someone as a man, I do not recommend putting your name on a birth certificate unless you've done a DNA test. Now, I've seen a lot of women respond defensively and say that it's insulting when a man demands a DNA test, and I personally think that it speaks more of that woman's ego than the situation at hand. Because in a society where a lot of women go through men's phones because they want some kind of reassurance of fidelity, I just don't understand why you are so averse to giving somebody reassurance about something as important as a child.
Absolutely correct. And like I said, the video portion, it was going to be short, but we made a good point tonight in regards to that. Now we're about to get to the 5 benefits of why you need to get a DNA test. So just in case you want to talk to your baby mamas or your future baby mamas in the United States or in many cases outside the United States, these are the 5 reasons that Andrea and I talked about 3 years ago, as well as updated reasons. And it's going to actually go into I'm actually going to create a whole new chapter in the advanced copy of this book that's dedicated to if you have a child outside the United States. And we're about to talk about that right now. So you don't even have to wait till the advanced copy comes out. Mm-hmm. All right. And let's get ready to get started with number 1 reason why you should, number 1 reason why you should have a DNA.
Mm-hmm. Number 1 is legal protection and peace of mind. A DNA test provides, thank you, legal proof of the fatherhood. Without it, you might have limited rights if deputized disputes arise.
Yep. So in order to give you a peace of mind and in order to make sure that you and the child has rights, you want to have a DNA. That's the most common reason. People guys just say, I just want a peace of mind. I just want to make sure that this child is mine. Well, you don't trust me. It's not about trusting you. It's about trusting me, because I'll be spending the next 20, 30 years not trusting myself when it comes to doing for this child. So I don't know. No, I'm not saying that I don't trust you, but what I am saying is I will feel more at peace if I have this DNA test. Don't let them convince you not to do it. There are benefits that gives you rights as a father when it comes to that child, that at the end of the day, if you find out that it's not your child, you may not be able to receive those benefits. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the next one.
The next one is medical and financial benefits. A DNA test is essential for your child's health history, and genetic information. It also ensures access to the father's financial benefits, life insurance claims, and
inheritance
or herencia.
Absolutely. So number 2 reason. Number 1 was for your peace of mind. Number 2 is for the child's medical. As far as medical history, your family may have a history of sickle cell, or your family may have a history of this, a history of that. That child has the right to know if it's your child, just based off of it needs to have the truth about its health. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is inheritance. A lot of times you'll find out that that child will not be able to legally inherit things from you because that's not technically your child. Mm-hmm. As well as other benefits that are coming down the turnpike, because a lot of life insurance companies will not allow you to put that child as a beneficiary unless it's proven that that is your child. So in order to benefit that child long after you're gone, get the DNA test. Once again, don't forget this, guys. It's very important. Everything that we're saying are black cowboy hat moments. Getting a DNA test when her mama might be mad at you, she might be mad at you, you guys might be married for 16 years, doesn't matter. Get the DNA test for the benefit of the child. Put the black cowboy hat on. You gotta be the villain this go around. Nobody's gonna understand why you're doing this. Everybody's gonna think that you're selfish. But at the end of the day, you're not only doing it for you, you're thinking about the child in ways that the women around the child aren't thinking about. Her mama's not thinking about that. Her mama's not thinking about inheritance. Your wife or your girlfriend is not thinking about the inheritance. Her mama and your aunties and your sisters are not thinking about your life insurance policies. They aren't thinking about the rights of the child. They aren't thinking about any of that. All they want is goo goo gaga, a cute baby.
Exactly. But
That's
you're thinking about her business. Like, sorry, babe, to
Go
cut
ahead,
you
babe.
off. But like the video that we saw, the mama take the audacity in this case to do a DNA test to her grandkid and prove that it's not her biological grandkid. I think you as a mom and see outside of the emotions and everything like the baby mama does is like we talk about here business. We're talking
Correct.
about if we got a business, a family business, something's going on with my son. I just put that like this is my case. I'm the mom, and my son got a baby, and for me, and that baby is not my son's baby. So for me, it's just like thinking about the business side. Like something's going on with my son. He passed away. He got an accident. Who is going to receive all those legal rights and financial benefits? My grandkid, but result that's not even my grandkid. So that's the part that I'm agree with. Like you has outside of the family, you don't see with emotions, you see with business side.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So understand what we're saying. So the first benefit of getting a DNA test is a peace of mind for you, peace of mind for the child, peace of mind for everybody else that's involved, including the rest of the family. And maybe you don't care about what your friends think, so your coworkers think, but at least care about, showing care about what you think and what the child will think. So that's the first benefit. Number two benefit we just talked about as far as inheritance and the child's health. There may be certain things or certain cancers. For example, in my family, the men are built like bulls. We built like brick walls. The men, it takes us in my family, it takes us men to just get old. We just wear out in my family. The men don't get cancers. The men don't get this, get that, men. We just, all of us on my dad's side, as well as my uncle Jeffrey and the Taylor side, men are built like bulls. The ladies, bruh, you name a disease, the ladies in my family have it. I don't know what it is, but they stay in the hospital for something each generation.
So that generation gonna cover if we got a baby girl.
Right.
I'm going to church.
Right.
I just put that increase in how do you say in Jesus' feet. No, of those things are gonna come to our kids.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
So a little something for the Love Crossing Borders collection plate. Shout out to you guys. I'm going to check the Cash App, see if you guys blessed us on the Cash App as well. But so the number two is for health reasons. Let you read that, babe.
Kimpur Energy, he said, thank you so much. First of all, he said this woman think that they are just supposed to be in a relationship and not follow and just men's leadership. And not follow just men's leadership. And that we are supposed to just take it.
Just take it. Just go along with it. And a lot of us good men or just men make the mistake of just going along with it. You, like I said, don't make the mistake of thinking as a real man. If you, and I mean this, I need to do a show on this. I really mean this. As a man, and I've been harping on this all night, if you are a good man, one of the signs of being a good man in life, a good husband, good friend, a good associate, a good everything, sometimes, give you a perfect example. Sometimes you're not going to wear the white cowboy hat all the time. Couple days ago, man, Andre was talking. I said something in the WhatsApp group, and I was just straightforward. Bam, 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 bam. And I offended one of the brothers. Now, we're cool. This is one of my homeboys, right? I offended him. He was hurt. He let me know, Dre, you hurt me, man. You was wrong. I had to take the white cowboy hat off and put the black cowboy hat on and acknowledge I was the villain.
That's what
good men do that.
That's what I
Good
said.
men have no problem with saying, bruh, my bad. Bruh, you were correct in regards to that. Bruh, I handled that wrong. The brother told me, and I sent it to him in a video. I didn't just send him a little message. He said, Dre, I almost cried. He said, you got to realize, and me and Andre talked about this today.
Yeah.
Andre, people don't see you as bruh. They see you as Unc. Unc can't talk like bruh.
No.
I make a mistake and I talk like I can talk like bruh. I hurt some people's feelings, males and females, because I forget that I'm an older dude and I'm expected to talk like Unc at this stage of life. And so I realized, and Andre said, yes, you can't say everything that you want to say, Andre, because people don't see you the same way as they see everybody else. You are Unc. So realize that, right?
Yeah.
And an Unc knows that I can wear the white cowboy hat most of the days, but there are times I got to take it off and acknowledge certain things. A lot of times you guys wear the white cowboy hat, and when it comes to that DNA test, nobody's going to be happy for you, but you still got to put on that black cowboy hat if you want to get the truth.
That's what I tell you guys. Andre, sometimes he doesn't have any filter. He just let it out. Say, babe, it's not like that, because you need to realize that people is not you. Like Andre, he don't get offended so easy, you know. But there's some people that are like that, man or woman, they get offended just to say hello, for example. So yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, and me and the brother cool again.
And I told Dre today when we having our daytime, and I say, babe, you got too much wisdom. You have an age that you're not a bro anymore. That's when you were 20s, maybe 30. You almost hit the 60-year-old. You're not a bro anymore. You got so much knowledge, and a lot of people see you as an example. You're not a bro anymore. Even that I want to be a bro. No, baby, you can't. You can't. You already passed that stage. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out to all you guys. Yep. Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp it up. You got to put the black cowboy hat on. Some of us got to be Wyatt Earp. Shout out to you guys. Let's continue on. So we already talked about the first two. Let's go to the third one. The third benefit of getting a DNA test for your child, especially internationally as well as nationally, but we're talking about international right now as well. First one was legal protection for the child. If it's an international child, and peace of mind for you, you know that's your baby. Second thing is medical history and financial benefits from the father as far as life insurance policies and other inheritances. Number three reason is
number three, avoid financial and emotional responsibility for a child that isn't yours. A DNA test removes doubts. Have doubts is the worst thing ever. How do you say
strengthens
family trust and ensures the child receive their rightful benefits.
Absolutely correct. So number three is for you who have children outside the United States as well as inside the United States or Canada or UK. The benefit is that you are able to avoid any doubts. You're able to strengthen your family's trust in that child is a part of the family. And you ensure, once again, the child receives its beneficial rights of whatever it is, whether the right to your last name or whether the right to spend time with their uncles and cousins and all the stuff that comes along with being in your family. That child receives those rights because that is actually your child. Even if you have a child in another country. So that's the third reason that Andre and I are advocates of DNA testing, as well as a lot of you guys are advocates of DNA testing. Go ahead, baby.
And I think one time we got a live stream. I think it was this year, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the guys say, I just have a baby here in Colombia. We was like, okay, good, cool for you. And in some of the conversation in the middle of the live stream, he said, but I don't have it. I never did a DNA test for my child. Okay, you don't want to do a DNA test, you think it's not necessary, but for the embassy and for have that baby have all the rights because it's your kid and have the U.S. Benefits and everything, you gotta prove you need to prove that your kid, like it or not, the embassy is gonna make you to have a DNA test.
And repeat that last part again. The embassy's gonna what?
How do you say mandatory?
Make you, make it
make
mandatory.
you have a DNA test. It's mandatory.
So if you want that child to be red, white, and blue, let's say you have that child in Brazil.
Yeah.
If you want that child to also experience being red, white, and blue, all American, and get an American Social Security card, get an American passport, be able to travel as easily as you do, and that's your little son,
Absolutely.
the embassy is going to make you do it anyway.
Anyway.
So you want to take the child home to visit your parents. This their first grandchild, and your girl says it's cool. You can take the child home, but the embassy is going to make sure that that's your child that you're taking across borders. So if you think that you can get around it by having a child in another country and you want to take that, no, the embassy is going to sit back and say, no, that child can get a Social Security card. That child cannot get a passport. That child cannot be traveling with you internationally until you get our mandatory DNA test.
Absolutely.
So it hurts a lot of you guys' feelings to hear that, but the truth be told, your child is going to be stuck in whatever country it's in and let you get that DNA test. So let the child's mother know that you can take the child with you. I can't take the child with me. Why? Because I never had a DNA test.
There's no any proof. The baby can't have any a U.S. passport, nothing.
And a lot of women that guys are sleeping with don't know this information.
It's better that they don't know. The best thing it's better that they don't know. Why? Because you're gonna call a liar if she's lying to you.
Yep. They don't even know this information. That your girlfriend in whatever country it is, you know, she hasn't come across this information on a regular basis. So she's thinking to herself, like, well, you know, he's just we're just having a child and we're just happy and so forth and so forth. Shout out to my man Chris Brown with the $20 love, and my man Gary from Indiana Boys. Shout out to Gary with the $10 love. Glad to see that you guys are here. And we appreciate that you guys enjoy this information. Once again, it's going to be going on to the Patreon. And make sure you guys support the Patreon here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. We got a lot of great information in there, such as what we're speaking on tonight. Let's go to the next one. Number 4 reason.
Number 4 is approve when traveling with the proof when traveling with the child. A DNA test can prevent complications at the airports and borders checks, ensuring smooth travel with your child.
Yes, making sure that's a smooth transition of traveling with your child once you get that DNA test. You're going to have to get it just to get through immigration, get the child's passport. You're going to have to get approval from the mother that, yes, you can take the child. Yes, I've signed the approval form. But I've watched Bogota, right? Bogota Airport has a television show. I was in Miami watching it one time, right? And this woman went to take her child to the States. She forged the father's fingerprints. She used her own hand. So that's why they were like, wait a minute, that's a little hand. She was trying to sneak the child out of the country, even though she had a visa to leave and the child had a visa. No, she had a visa, but the child didn't have a visa. She tried to sneak out because there was no DNA test that gave a sign, and the fact that, you know, that wasn't a father's signature or the biological father's fingerprints. So even a biological mother can't, in most countries, can't just take a child out of the country without the biological father's okay, or something that proves that the biological father's not around, you know, he's in jail, or he's not part of the child's life, or that he's deceased. They have to fill out a form. So even if you tried to take that child who you love to another country, go visit your mom and dad and your cousins and meet their other side of their family, you can't do it without a DNA test. So to make everything a lot smoother and a lot easier for you, dude, Tell your Colombiana, tell your woman in Brazil, tell your woman in Thailand. These rules apply. If your woman is in Thailand, your child is in Thailand, and you're trying to go back to the States, these same rules apply.
I wouldn't tell anything. I just want to prove, me. I won't tell anything.
What you mean by not tell anything?
I mean, tell, like, for example, if I got a bunch of friends that they are dating with Americans and they have kids and everything,
right?
I won't tell anything. Just go to the embassy and prove.
So you say you would? Oh, so you said you wouldn't tell her?
Absolutely not.
But you and the child will go to the. As a man, you would suggest that the men and the child go to the embassy
I
and
would
do
say,
the test.
I would say anything about the information about that if you want that baby got the American passport, I just
keep your mouth shut and just go ahead and get the
just
test.
go ahead and get a test. Just go ahead.
Chalupe says this.
I have notarized a letter extending I can travel international with my son, U.S. citizen.
Absolutely correct. That's exactly how you do it. Thank you very much, Chalupe, in regards to that. And I know a few of you fathers out there that have the same scenario.
Mm.
Let's go on to the next one. So that number 5, this is very important.
Number 5 is government benefits and citizenship. In most cases, the DNA test must be certified and meet legal requirements for the child to be recognized in the father's home country. And here is why.
So before we go into the reasons why, number 5 is that the child, if you want that child to have government benefits like Social Security, all you ex-militaries, you know that you can have your child be able to take advantage of your Pell Grant. I mean, not your Pell Grant, but your GI bills and other bills.
Mm-hmm.
Your child may be able to receive certain things to be able to go into college. Your child may be able to receive its own Social Security or receive some of your Social Security once you've passed on. Your child will be able to get certain scholarships in the United States. A lot of doors will open up for your child once that child DNA is proven. And as a good dad, you want the best of the best for your child.
Yeah, absolutely. So many things. Let's say you guys, and this is a little outside, but inside too. Let's say that you have a baby in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Africans, the passport, Africans got one of the weakest passport in the world. They're almost blocked around the world. If that kid, let's say your kid born in Somalia or Nigeria or South Africa, if that kid got the U.S. passport, open doors around the world. So that's one of the things that benefits if they prove that baby is yours. Because in this case, for example, like African countries, they need to ask visas all over the world. Even for Colombia, they're blocked almost around the world. But this U.S. passport going to give that kid benefits, move to the United States, to scholarship or a school or a better life, So that's one of the things that I think is a great benefit if that's the case.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why you want to have your DNA test, because as Andre just read, the DNA test must be certified and meet the legal requirements for the child to be recognized by the father as far as government benefits, U.S. government benefits, or Canadian government benefits, or UK government benefits, and for that child to be able to get its citizenship, meaning that child to be able to have the right to vote in your home country and the right to have dual citizenship, to be able to have another passport. So we're going to talk about 3 things, ABC, of how to get this. What do they mean by certification? What do they mean by to be able to get these things? We're going to talk about A.
Okay. A, government
acceptance.
Okay. Most governments do not accept a home DNA kits because they can be
tampered with.
They require tests from accredited
laboratories.
So
the first thing is, if you want your child to be able to take advantage of benefits, most governments around the world is not going to accept 23andMe.
No,
they're not going to accept you, or you went to that country's version of CVS or Walgreens. That country's version of you just went to and got a kit. They don't accept DNA kits when it comes to your child being able to get citizenship that you have and be able to take advantage of benefits that you have from your home country as well as their country. So do realize that that's the first thing they look for. Where did you remember I was talking about that earlier? Where did you get the DNA results? It has to be from a laboratory, a reputable laboratory, like the type of laboratories that we have here, where a lot of people were getting COVID exams. Those type of laboratories, the type of clinics or doctor's offices where you get the yellow fever shot or the tuberculosis shot.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, and here we got a comment on collecting data. He said, yeah, I found out when I applied for the citizenship for my son in Thailand. I think in this case, if you correct me if I'm wrong, that is in the U.S. U.S. Embassy, they got their own lab.
Okay.
Why? Because, for example, if I apply for a work visa to the United States, or let's say that we apply for a marriage visa in the United States, I need to get a blood test for hepatitis, HIV, syphilis, all those blood tests.
Diseases.
But the U.S. Embassy, they send you to their own lab.
Own labs.
And the consul is the only one who can see the results. If you receive the results, are gonna open? No, it's the consul at the moment of the interview. They're gonna open the results and read the result. So if I'm not mistaken, that is the way that they can prove if the baby is yours or not, because the embassy got their own lab or their own doctors to do this type of blood test.
Now, I'm glad that Andrea mentions the embassy. I would take advantage of the laboratories that are local that are accepted. The reason why, so you be able to sign the birth certificate, because you might be like me. I ain't signing no birth certificate without a DNA test. So until that test is done, whether it be at the hospital, that's a reputable location. The baby is just born. Get the test done right then, right there. That's reputable. That's accepted by most locations. But like Andrea said, even the U.S. Embassy may even have their own spots in the country that you're visiting. But at the end of the day, you have to get this done. That's number A, in order to have governments accepting that that's your biological child. It cannot be a kit. It cannot be a kit. Number 2 way of the government's accepting that that's your child, eligibility, right, for benefits and citizenship.
If you want the child to get a passport, claim Social Security, government benefits, and apply for a dual citizenship.
So if you want your child to have dual citizenship, be able to apply for all the other governmental benefits that you can apply for. If you want your child to be able to get a stimulus check, or if you want your child to be able to give you tax breaks like the child tax breaks that we have in the United States, the way that you would do that is by getting a legitimate accredited examination as far as DNA is concerned. And once again, this is number 5. All we're talking about is number 5. Number A of number 5, or 5A, is government acceptance. Another one is 5B, which is eligibility for citizenship. So if you want that child to have dual citizenship, you got to have the DNA done for that child. And number 3 is called, or C.
Okay, number C is chains of custody. This is a required process that ensures the DNA, the DNA samples used in a test truly belong to the people being tested, using the father's ID and the child's birth certificate.
This is a legal term called, so for some of you guys have never heard of this term, you can look it up. It's called chain of custody. Chain of custody. The chain of custody is the father's ID, the child's ID, which could be the child's birth certificate, and the father's actual ID, whether it be in his home country, his passport, or the ID in his new country. Doesn't matter, but it has to be a proof that the father is the one, the actual father is the one that's taking the test. and the actual child is the one that's taking the test. How do you prove that? With the chain of custody, which is the identification. So if you ever wonder where that term comes from, it's not something we made up. It's something that you can look up. And this is just international. It's not something that's brand new. The chain of custody is the identification that proves that you are you, the dad, and that child is who that child is by way of identification. So just in case you guys are wondering. So when it comes to getting citizenship, when it comes to proving the chain of custody and proving to governments that that's your child, so that child can receive those benefits, all three of those things must be done. The proper medical, the identification, which is the chain, and the child being eligible for dual citizenship and all the other benefits that comes along with it. Shout out to Tori. Troy says this, in family law, he said, I learned that if a man signs the birth certificate, even if he is not the biological father, he is now, absolutely correct, the legal father of
Absolutely.
that child.
In Colombia, is the same way. In Colombia, if you want to take out the baby obviously outside of the hospital, the baby needs to have, we call here el registro civil, is the same birth certificate to have a legal registration and protection for the baby.
So if you want to do that, and Andrea just said that she just showcased that it's also here in Colombia. So if you are a person and you're right there at the hospital and you're excited and you're giving, she just gave birth, get that DNA test. I've come across so many stories of men that didn't get the DNA test, and the number one reason was they didn't want the mother to feel bad in front of her family.
But wait a second. Here it say, now that I'm reading, here say, obviously after having a baby, the hospital give you a certificate. They got all the information of the baby birth. And with the certificate, you need to go to la registraduría, register. The baby has your legal. The baby has your legal son or daughter or kid. So it's like notaria, or you need to go to a notary or a embassy to register the baby. So it's not two ways, but it is first step one and step two. Step one is the baby need to have a certificate, a name and last name, and then you need to go to a notary and register the baby. That's how we do it in Colombia. Now that I'm reading more here, that's how you do it.
Right. And Jay Anderson said, Dre, I signed the damn certificate.
Yeah, but until that baby get the citizenship, you still can prove if the baby is yours or not.
That's okay. And Tori says this. He said, I didn't learn international law on that subject. And that's why we studied this. Like I said, Andre and I have been knowing quite a bit about this because this impacts us. So there are some things that we're talking to you about that we have been studying and researching and talking about, and talk to attorneys about all. Remember we hired their attorney, the female attorney, that one time we were talking about what if we have a kid and things like. So all of this we've done. We've hired people to give us consultations in regards to situations or circumstances like this. So don't just think that we're just kind of like throwing something in the air.
No.
But all these things that we are discussing, the 5 benefits we're discussing tonight, are things that impact us. So we had to do all the homework about this. Absolutely. And so we're just sharing the homework of what we found out regarding if you have a child internationally or domestically in your home country, the benefits, 5 benefits of getting the DNA test on behalf of that child.
I think it's the best thing, because let's put this example. Let's put that we have a kid. Something's going on with Dre. Something happens to Dre. How are we going to prove? I know that I can't say the word on camera, but how are we going to prove to the embassy or to the U.S. that that's his baby with that DNA test?
Correct. I'm gone. I'm out of the picture. We never took the time out to get a DNA test, which means our son cannot take advantage of its U.S. benefits because I was too scary or too lazy to get it done while at the hospital. I just signed the certificate. I didn't get anything done. I'm going to say this again. You can sign the certificate in the hospital. The U.S. Embassy still going to ask you for DNA. So all you scary dudes that's scared to put on the black cowboy hat, and you too scared, you know that it might not be your Colombian daughter or it might not be your Dominican son. It doesn't matter, because the moment that you decide that child can take advantage of its American benefits through you, that embassy in DR, that embassy in Thailand, that embassy in Colombia is going to say, you need to take a mandatory DNA test. So you might be scary on your own, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to take that test anyway. So you might as well do it in the hospital.
You got to be faced.
Yeah.
You need to face that truth. Okay, Shasay. Okay, we all know.
Oh, my bad.
Getting the DNA test is just the most logical choice.
Absolutely correct.
We all know you two always do research. Come on, coach. Yeah, we always, because as a married couple, we need to do consultations about it. About in Colombia, it's not like that. It's not a street like the U.S., but the U.S. is a street, and I'm agree with that. I'm absolutely agree. If I need to prove everywhere anything in legal things, that's my baby's father. Go ahead, do it. I don't have any. I'm not against to a DNA test.
Absolutely. And my man Marco says this.
I'm learning this in DR.
So he's learning the process right now. Tailor-made dreams with his daughter. His daughter's going on 4 years old. Shout out to him. He went through the same process. A lot of you guys have children in other countries. You probably went or know somebody that had children in other countries and went through the same process. So to fear that might not be your child because you had a baby by a party girl, that's you. But if you don't want that child to miss out on all the benefits of you being an American, or you being a Canadian, or you being from the UK or Australia, you're going to have to get that exam because it's mandatory. Because if your mama say, I want to meet my grandbaby, bring my Colombian grandbaby over here, and the mother says yes, one of the first things that the embassy is going to say, we need to get your DNA. Let's scroll down a little further.
Say, Andrea was right. I will be at the embassy lab with my baby boy in matching black hats.
For real, it'll be black cowboy hats. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And like I mentioned before, we let you guys go, that there are times in life you will put on the black cowboy hat.
Absolutely.
That's just called being a good man. You're not being a villain. You're not being mean, but you're being, what I mean when I say the black cowboy hat, I mean that there are times that you're going to have to be responsible when everybody else wants to be irresponsible. While everybody else is thinking emotionally, is like Andrea said, you're thinking on the business side of life. You're looking at this situation from the business perspective. You're seeing the bigger picture. And sometimes you'll be the only one that sees the bigger picture. And everybody else will see you as the villain. As a good man, accept that. I'm going to say this again. Accept that. Stop being scared. Stop being afraid to get your exam. Because if you plan on taking that child internationally, whether you had the child in the States or whether you had that child out of the States, you're going to have to get that DNA test. Good men. Shout out to all you guys that were here for this particular topic. We're glad that we got a chance to showcase it. Like I said, all our notes that we put down tonight and where we got our notes will be on the Patreon. So thank you guys for supporting us by way of the Patreon as well as other things that a lot of stuff we got up there on the Patreon. But also, guys, do remember that there are some really great things that's coming down the turnpike that we're doing. In 2 weeks, we got the Petronio Alvarez Festival. So all you guys that are reaching out to us in regards to airport rides and where you want your Airbnb located and all the things about the festival. Over 500,000 people were here last year. It's going to be another banger this year as far as, like I said, it's one big Afro-Colombian celebration. And so it's going to be absolutely correct, Tori. Group hug. Come on, Craig. Group hug. Absolutely correct. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Group hug, like Martin last night on the movie Boomerang. Group hug. So shout out to all you guys that are here, and we appreciate you being here.
God bless you all.
Oh yeah, let's get some outros going, and we appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and we hope this topic helps you guys out when it comes to having children nationally as well as internationally. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go classic. Let's go to the classic.
Baby, tan lejos y tan cerca, como enero y diciembre. Es que parcha teniendo la misma mente. Tu bebé ponte bien suelta, que sé cómo tú te sientes. Con las ganas de ser mala y decente. En la madrugada te encanta, cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta, eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada, tú conmigo baby toda la noche. Sé que estás traga, yo también espero que se note. Yeah, baby, presiento que tú eres lo llamado felicidad, que hasta la cama la ponemos a temblar. Tus padres hablan, pero no saben nada más. Lo que tú sientes conmigo, la adrenalina baby dándote casico. Yeah. Y pues baby pa' que sigo, si no escuchan lo que digo, es de nosotros saber cómo va mi amor, tocándonos y sernos de la madrugada. Te encanta, cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta, eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada, tú conmigo baby toda la noche. Sé que estás traga, yo también espero que se note. Yeah. Y espero que se note, vale mucho más que los lingotes. Somos la bichote y el bichote, esto es reggaetón puro. Perreamos duro y down, se nota que estoy tragado. Lo vi venir, por y más o menos a las 12. Hay que vivir, hay que sentir, y tú me revives con tu roce. Yeah, baby, cada noche, yeah, al amanecer. Yeah, baby, cada noche. Baby, tan lejos y tan cerca, como enero y diciembre. Es que parcha teniendo la misma mente. Tu bebé ponte bien suelta, que sé cómo tú te sientes. Con las ganas de ser mala y decente. En la madrugada te encanta, cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta, eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada, tú conmigo baby toda la noche. Sé que estás traga, yo también espero que se note. Yeah. Ricky Baker.